What's up, guys? Welcome back to the live show. Welcome back to another call-in show. The day after we got absolutely packed, we got absolutely smoked against Man City. The entire world saw um, the the embarrassing performance we put out there as a team individually, especially defensively. I think that is the most crazy. Should be back, right? Yeah, apologies for the audio. New cable is on its way, but it's still not arrived. Anyways, the entire world saw the performance we put out there, and whatever happened pre-game, post-game. From Timothy Weah to Vlahovic to Tudor's insane post-game comments, in my opinion. To at the end of the day after, kind of waking up, and now you hear Savona is out for a month at least, getting linked with players like Disassi and things like that. It's not good. It's not a good period. Definitely not a good period for this club right now. We need to acknowledge that. We need to talk about it, and hopefully, for once, how am I muted? I cannot be muted because I can see the bar going on. But for once, I think talk about the issues we have at the club, and acknowledge that things need to be better desperately, that things need to be fixed, that things need to be improved. That if like for me personally, because the title of the show is "Did Tudor basically did it on purpose?" And I told myself yesterday, you know what, I'm gonna tell myself that Tudor did this on purpose so we can show up the club and say, guys, this is what you're actually that this is what you're giving me, this is what I'm working with right now, this is what you think is good enough, what should be competing, you think I need to win with these players. I was telling myself yesterday that that Tudor was kind of telling himself that he was trying to make a point to the club. But let's be completely honest, that's probably not the case, because pre-game he was very confident. The day before in his presser, he was extremely confident about the situation. The an hour before the game when he got interviewed, he was like, yeah, I made a lot of changes, but the players going out there, they know what to do, we take this seriously, we want to win, I trust them all, etc. And I don't have an issue with that, by the way. That's what a coach does. He's not coming out pre-game and say, yeah, I'm going to put a bad team out there and they're going to get smoked. So I have no issue with that. I do have an issue when you do that and then you get absolutely embarrassed in a very childish way. The way we conceded those 4 goals, let's say the 3 goals, because yeah, Kalulu, I have no idea what he was doing. And the screamer, yeah, it is what it is. But the other 3 goals we conceded were just copy paste. Players in behind, stepping up, players out of positions. Very, very easy football. That being said, when that happened, I'm like, okay, post game, be real. Post game, he comes out and he goes on a mad run, saying, "Well, what do you expect? We're not complete. Man City can spend 100 million euros, and we not really." I'm like, you cannot do that. We know that as a fan base, we all know that. We all know that we're not good enough. But you cannot come out post game and say these crazy stuff, because right now you are throwing the players under the bus, the same players you were backing a couple of hours before, who you are going to need to use again. You're throwing them under the bus, saying they're shit, basically. But you said, yeah, Man City have better players, the best team in the world. And we can all acknowledge that. Nobody's going to debate that Man City are not better than us and can spend more than us. But 2-5, the way we concede the goals, I need to look at you as well, because you set up certain players to fail out of position, not pulling them quick enough. You bring in Yildiz, and the game changes completely in terms of having something going on. So you made certain decisions. You need to own up for it. I don't want to see a Juve coach make excuses after his 12th game in charge. 12th game in charge, I think it was. I don't want to hear that from a Juve coach ever. Never. Not against Man City, not against Parma. I don't care. I don't want to hear those things. So when he said that post game, I was like, oh boy, you better put out that team to make a statement towards the club, because if not, you're effed. You're effed because you're not gonna survive. And two, if the club really needed this performance to see that we are bad, it's much worse as well. It's definitely much worse. Um, Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the super chat. Keep up the great work. Thanks for that again. We need at least 8 new players, including 3 defenders and backups in midfield and a new strikers. It feels like a rebuild we've done last season. I cannot do it again, but you're basically right. Um, when I said, a couple of when Mota got sacked, let me go back to that, and I was like, yeah, I don't care about the club. So if an X1 comes in and he does better than Mota, it is what it is. But I've always said it's not going to be solved because these players are who they are. It's not going to change. It's never going to change. It's always going to be, it's always going to be the same because it's the same. We changed coach 3 times. Big part of these players are still here. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you about these players? They're happy to throw a coach under the bus because it saves their own face. They shift the blame. They're not being blamed. The spotlight is away and they're like, cool, it's Mota. It's not me. It's not us. Social media posts, this and that, saying now we're free. Now we can play in this position. Nico Gonzalez, again, now I'm free. I can play in this position. He's worse than under Mota. But apparently he's free. So good for him. Good for him. He's free on the pitch, Nico Gonzalez, but his performances got worse since Mota left. But at least he's free on the pitch. Happy for him, I guess. Happy for him. Perin, talking smack. Now he wants to leave because he cannot beat out Di Gregorio because he's not better than Di Gregorio. Talking all that smack. These are the players being defended by the club. McKennie, a good purple patch. Oh my God. We need a McKennie in the team. We need him. Oh my God. Rubbish. These players are rubbish from a technical ability to their mindset. And you just need to call it out. You just need to call it out. But doing so much pre-game and then post-game, doing a U-turn basically completely and saying, hey, these players, man, they're not as good as Man City's players. We knew that. We all knew that. You didn't need to send them out to get slaughtered and then come out and backtrack what you said. When you come out in the pre-game presser the day before and you're like, you know what? Kostic, he impressed me. He's a good player. He knows this team. And I'm like, is this a clubhouse? I don't know how you say that in English. I don't know if you have that where you're from, but like buildings, I don't know, like areas when you can hang out with friends after school. It's from the city, and you have a pool table out there and whatever. You can chill with friends after school. It feels like we're that. It feels like we are just chilling out there with the friends. That's how it feels. When I hear certain quotes about, oh, but he knows the players, Kostic. I don't give a shit that he knows the players. I don't care. He played for Fenerbahce for a reason. He is crap. Don't tell me he's useful, he's good, and even the fan base, he can be useful on the counter. We're playing Man City, and I need to believe Kostic can be useful on the counter. Like, is this for real? Is this actually happening at this club? How is he even getting minutes? How is the club allowing Tudor giving Kostic minutes? How is Douglas Luiz not getting minutes, by the way? Whatever you think about Douglas Luiz, Kostic is getting minutes. McKennie doing nothing, it keeps getting minutes. Colt Miners, poor, keeps getting minutes. How is Douglas Luiz not getting minutes? Somebody, post-game, a serious journalist asked that question. But no, why would they ask that question? Why would they? No answers, just out there. Douglas Luiz doesn't play a minute. McKennie can get, I don't know, 70 minutes of stinking it out again. Like, actually crazy what's happening at the club, but very normal. Very, very normal. It's, I'm not even that pissed about the result anymore, because when I saw that lineup, I knew what was coming, because I know these players. I know they cannot put up a fight. We don't put out a better fight against Man City. I know these players. I know who they are. We all know who they are. I've still people telling me in the comments, stay calm, do not panic. Why do I need to come? It's been 5 years. Are we supporting Juve or Fiorentina? Like, tell me, are we supporting Juve or are we supporting Fiorentina, Roma? When they win once every 20 years, they're happy and they shut up. Like, keep in mind the club you're supporting when you say certain things. The backline is so poor. And what news did we get pre-game? Gatti is going to extend. He comes out, got worse. Like, we actually got worse. We didn't improve. It got worse, actually. It got actually worse. And you want me to be excited about extending Gatti? And people fall for it. When Tudor comes out and he talks about DNA, the Italian spirit, everybody, bring the Italian players back, the DNA and this and that. I'm like, man, cut the crap. Tudor is talking about DNA when he was playing for one of the best teams the world has ever seen. Go look up the teams Tudor play in. Go look up the teammates Tudor had when he played at Juventus. He's thinking about that DNA, that Italian core, those players. I would agree with that, but it's 2020. It's not 21. 01, excuse me. It's not 2001. If you can bring me that DNA back with those players, I will follow you. But he's talking about DNA and the players as well, running and intensity. I'm like, Jesus, come on. Like, is this a Sunday League team or is this a real football team? Like, for real. Anyways, people, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. If you want to call in, I'll put the link in the actually, I'm going to pin it. It's much easier. Let me try to pin it. You can call in, just your voice. You won't be able to scream if you have something to say. Let me go through the comments. Let me see where I can start. If you don't back Tudor in the summer, we're cooked. Yeah, like, he's not good enough coach to overcome certain things. And actually, no coach is good enough to... You can put Pep Guardiola in charge of this team. Nico Gonzalez is still going to run out the ball into the stands like he did yesterday. Nico Gonzalez was absolutely a horror show. You can't complain their players are better than yours when you choose to play Kostic, McKennie, Nico, and Dusan. Agree 100% with that one. Colt Miner is the biggest flop in Juve history. I wouldn't go there, but yeah, he's on pace. Gatti, Kostic, Costa, Kelly, McKennie, Vlahovic, Nico, all not good enough to be in this club. Yeah, when it comes to Costa, for example, I like what he brings, but he's not ready. He's going to cost you a lot of games. He's going to win you a lot of games as well, but he's not ready to be the main guy. It's interesting to have him, but we need more. I've said, even when he was playing well, I was like, defensively, it's not good enough. And oh boy, on that first goal, he got absolutely pulled. That it's actually insane. I will bring you in a sec. Read out the comments first. Do you think we should use the academy more, especially if we're not going to spend money? You should have using the academy in this tournament. Right now you need to spend money. Just imagine that Nico Gonzalez and Cherky that almost at the same feet. Yeah, makes me cry. I'm not gonna lie. Not even Fenerbahce want him. We have to keep Yildiz because he's the only player who's a bright spot. Yeah, Disasi, don't start me about that. You can't blame Comoli for anything till after Mercado. Period. Nobody as now should be judged for their work in a month or two. I'm gonna blame Comoli. I'm sorry, Skippy. I'm going to blame Comoli. If he renews Gatti and McKennie, who do I need to blame? Giuntoli? Motta? No. He's doing it, so I'm going to need to blame him. Like it is. If I see certain links, even if it's links, but it's from good sources, I need to blame you because you're looking at the wrong direction. You're asking for more trouble to fix an area that's already completely in disarray. Uh, okay, let me bring in callers. Osama and Colette. You need to tell me what your name is. Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, who's
This is
speaking?
Osama.
Wait. And Anthony as well. Wait, first I will read out another super chat. Thanks, Sam. Again, I will read. I try to read out as many chats as possible. You don't need to send out super chats. Excuse me. I appreciate it, but I try to read out as many as I can. How did we go from winning 9 Scudetto in a row and a Champions League finals to the worst loss since the 60s at homes with these guys, and now with this mess? I don't know. Like I said in an earlier video, if somebody writes a book on our downfall, um, it will be something I will buy because that needs to be studied. Sam, I have no idea. Wrong decisions, and just keep making wrong decisions. That's what it is. That's what it is. As simple um, as that, in my opinion. I will try to add all the callers really quickly. Uh, hey Osama, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's one. Anthony, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, that's two. Arda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
That's three. And you need to tell me your name. Khalid?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Khalid. Okay. All of you can hear me. That's good. So
Yeah, I can.
I'm going to ask everyone the same question really quickly because that's the title of the show. And I was telling myself that after the game yesterday. So Osama, I'll start with you. Did Tudor did this on purpose to send a message to the club, basically saying, if I bench 3-4 players or I have 2-3 injuries, this is what you're gonna get?
Honestly, I'm hoping that's the reason, right? Because if you are rotating the squad, like, why are you choosing Kostic? Why is like McKennie playing over Luiz? Why aren't you giving Adzic like more minutes, right? Like, you have talented players. If you're rotating, right, the defense already trash. Like, throw that Gil Puche guy on from the next gen, right? Like, give him some minutes, like, see what he has, right? But like, even when he's rotating, the players he chose to like put in were just awful. And you just saw the lineup, you just knew like it was gonna be awful. So I'm hoping like that was his reasoning because I can't understand what else it would be.
Khalid, what do you think?
Well, I do think, well, like you said, I'm seriously hoping that that's the reason why he started the second team. And I feel like the outcome of the next game, if we do lose against Madrid and his press conference will determine if that was why he started the second. If we lost against Madrid and he goes like, oh, the team is bad, then I would be like, okay, it was a show to the owners just for them to know. But bearing any of it now, just an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster.
It was. Anthony, do you think it's gaslighting or actually his intention, telling the club this is it?
No, I don't think he did it purposely. I think he rested Thuram and Camiasso because they were on yellows.
Yeah.
And I mean, in terms of, I think his intention is to probably play Coop Miners or to eventually start him. And I think it's the same with Vlahovic, just because Chico and Kolomoani are up in the air still. So he's kind of forced to play them. Maybe not yesterday, but eventually this season he probably will be forced to play both of them. And I think anyone looking at that back line, like I predicted a 4-0 win for City yesterday. I wasn't surprised at all by the way we played. If you just look at that back line and the firepower City has, I don't see any other result happening than what happened yesterday. So I don't think he did it purposely.
Yeah, so lying. I was lying to myself, which I knew. Arda, what do you think? On purpose or just, Yeah,
Yeah, I think even if he did it on purpose, we showed nothing
yeah.
with players like Kostic. But we are on an all-time low. Just go on Twitter or TikTok, they make us look like clowns. They make us look like fools. I just can't accept this. Even if he did this on purpose, this can't be. Just play Douglas Luiz or play Jonas Rue, he would have played better than Kostic.
Yeah,
it's
the
just sad.
The Kostic one is an insult towards every single fan. I'm even the fans who are like, he can do a job. You're
This
insulting.
guy, oh sorry.
No, you go, because
Th- This
I cannot
guy
believe he
was
played.
not even a starter at Fenerbahce. I can't believe this. This guy was not even a starter at the Turkish league.
Yeah,
With all the respect to them, but it's the Turkish league, and you play against City.
And sorry, you know the funny thing. The funny thing is, Kostic. If you guys, I don't know if you guys watch the last Euros against England, Serbia and England, where he got absolutely smoked by Saka.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys remember that.
I
So
remember that.
after the match, I was like, and the next after the Euros, and I was like, he's back in the start lineup. So from that day, I kind of lost my faith. And when I saw the news yesterday, that I was like, Kostic is a player I like. I was like, oh boy, we're really in for it. So I was I wasn't surprised that Sabini was going to do a lot of damage on the wing, because he didn't even show the pace that Tudor complimented him about. No pace, no technical ability. I think he made just one field cross throughout the whole 19. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And considering the wing back spot, we're in quite a lot of trouble, because apart from Cambiaso, because people can say what you like about Costa, but yesterday we also probably is going to have problems with his defensive duties. So right now, the only fullback we kind of have is Cambiaso, so that area also needs a lot of work. Then Kalulu, oh my days.
Yeah, that was
Yesterday, you know, if we go into the season with the lineup we have now, especially at the back, I'm not joking, we're conceding at least an average of 5 goals a game. I can give you that. Like
You-
Empoli will come to Turin and smoke us.
is it
Like,
really? Is it fair? And I'll ask anyone. We'll start with Osama again first, because I said, I don't know if anyone listened to my previous videos. I said the backline is not good enough quality, so we need quality. Period. But even if we get quality, the way Tudor plays, we're gonna concede certain goals like yesterday. Obviously not at that pace, because three of those goals were just copy paste, like schoolboy defending. Ridiculous. One was a screamer, and one was, I don't know, Kalulu betting on himself, I'm assuming. But even if we get quality in right now, is Tudor also being a little bit naive with his approach? Because when you put out those players out there, and at one point it was a bank of five with four in front of those, and one just lingering around, and they were still just cutting us open with ease. Like the first goal, Alberto Costa steps in, and I was like, oh boy, like that's schoolboy defending, you know. So Osama, do you think that even Tudor needs to look at himself and say, you know what, I need to adjust certain things? Because even with one, maybe two additions, and even with Bremer in there, this is not going to work. Like, I'm setting a group of players up to actually get smoke.
So I've been saying this for a while. I don't think Tudor has anything other than a plan A, right? Like his plan A is like aggressive, push players forward, it leaves gaps in the back, but he doesn't have a plan B. He doesn't have like an adjustment to his plan A. And like I think in Serie A, like if you have enough quality for his like in like the starting 11, you could potentially like challenge for this kid depending on how much quality you can get in for that plan A. um but yeah, no, like he doesn't have a plan B. Like that's the worrying part about Tudor is like in Europe, like you're gonna get smoked. If like we play a PSG, like even if we bring in quality, I don't think Tudor has like a plan B.
Anthony, do you think, like, do you agree with Osama? Like, is it a bit naive as well, considering your quality of the team you put out there is kind of limited? The way you want to defend, is that just suicidal?
It's hard to say. I think I don't think Tudor will adjust until he gets the players he wants in, and if then it doesn't work, then he might adjust. But I think right now he's probably going to point the finger toward the clubs and the players more than to himself. Yeah. So I mean, it's really hard to say. It's a tricky situation with Tudor because the club clearly didn't back him. I don't think they really wanted to go continue with him, but now it's kind of like they both have no choice and they're stuck with each other. So I don't know. I don't. It's hard to say.
Yeah, that's also worrying, that part you just mentioned, where it's kind of obvious that he was not the first choice and it was just nobody's left, so we're sticking with you. Danny, you joined. So I don't know if you heard the question. Same question for you. Do you think Tudor is just also being a little bit naive, despite we lack quality?
I mean, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I can, yeah.
All right. So I want to say, first of all, the love your show, by the way. Appreciate
Thanks.
you. But honestly, I'm gonna go with the presser. I think we all heard it. The fact that he said that because City spent 100, 200 million, kind of puts us off in a really bad spot. Like, we all know the type of clubs like City, Madrid, PSG, they've got the money, right? But how do you go and like make us as the little club? I mean, we're Juve. I get it. We don't have that kind of money, but over the years, the past decades, even without much money, we were able to go toe to toe. We went, back to back, finals in the Champions League, and we've always played pretty well, with the little funding that we have. So I find that a little, not disturbing, but a little upsetting with him. I think Tudor's match against City, me personally, maybe I'm trying to be nice about it. I think it was more maybe like a symbol to the club, showing that, hey, these are my players that I have to use if my main players go down and the quality lacks. So bring me someone in to help balance that out, because we all saw that when Yildiz came in, just him alone, the quality went up. Like Kostic, what the hell are we doing with him? Like, how he's not even you've got players that can fill in a role. Like, I think Kalulu would be a perfect player to come in as a backup. But Kostic, like, really? That's gonna be the guy that's gonna come in for what, Cambiaso? That's really the guy we're gonna depend on. Like, so I don't know. I think at the end, I like Tudor, and I agree with the other caller. He said he's probably gonna end, I don't want him to end up like Mota, but like, if you only have one system, that one formation, and you can't adapt to something else, then it's gonna be a long season.
I agree. Sam's saying if we take away the own goal, 4-2 would have been okay. If we take out Di Gregorio, it could have been 8-2. Like, like that. At one point, I if I'm not mistaken, we had like 5 shots and City had like plus 20 shots at one point in the game. That's how bad it actually was. That's how bad it is at this club, because like you said, Yildiz came on, and on his own the level went up 10 levels on his own, because Thuram came on and he kind of struggled a little bit. Cambiaso was kind of anonymous, which I don't blame them. The game was absolutely gone, but Yildiz takes on 3-4 players. The assists he gives, actually should have had 2 if Vlahovic knew how to finish an easy chance, in my opinion. That's the level. I think the game was the perfect picture. The Kalulu own goal, or just the first goal, excuse me, the Vlahovic miss before Koopmeiners scored, and when Yildiz came on, it had everything the club should already know, but was on full display. One, defensively, we're bad. Two, if Vlahovic wants to stay, you need to freeze him out ASAP because he's holding the club back, the financial situation. He needs to leave. And three, the level of this club should be Yildiz. And we have one of them, basically. And Man City, I agree, have 11 of those. So I agree with Tudor, but I don't agree with him coming out and throwing the players he backed pre-game completely under the bus, not taking any responsibility. I cannot do that. Like at a club like Juve, I just cannot do that. I will never accept that. That's just my opinion on that. I was looking for news, but Dimas was talking about Milan. I can see, so nothing there. But people are asking about Lukumi because the backline is the main issue. We've been linked with Disasi or disaster, how he's been called in the Premier League, and that's not a joke. I want to start by people asking about Lukumi because there's a link out there. It's not the best links. It's Sport Media said actually it's a horrible link. Let me be honest. But Lukumi is out there for 28 million euros. You know, somebody's also saying Lukumi is Gatti level, etc. On Lukumi, really quickly, I've watched him play live, literally here where I live in Genk, because he played here for 2-3 seasons before he moved. So I watched him live countless times at the stadium. I like him, but he's not a top player. Would he improve what we have? Yes, but that's not difficult. That's what I'm trying to like improving what we have. Sorry?
Am I live?
If you're Jeff, yeah, you're live.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought I was muted. I said like people, players tend to regress with Juve, not progress, in my opinion. I fail to remember the last time a player came to us and actually became better. I just fail to remember the last time we had someone like that. Maybe Vidal or something.
I think
but Vidal was.
But...
I watched Thuram a lot of times with Nice. Yeah, he's maybe a little bit better this season, but he was like that since the start of the season. You know, we didn't see a gradual improvement that's like a tangible improvement that we could see week in, week out. We just saw him like Thuram. That's it. It is what it is from day one. Yeah.
I mean, I can see your point, but I will ask everybody the same question again. I will start with Osama.
Sure.
What is the answer right now? Because I'm not even talking about names because I don't know the name. You know, I can put out names. They're very unrealistic. That's it's up to the club to find the right names. But can you tell me what we actually need profile-wise at the back? Do we need a ball-playing center back? Do we need 1-2 defenders? Do we need just a quick defense? Like, what are we actually missing at the back? Because right now I'm looking at it, and I do not like anyone at the back. Like, none of these players.
I think our defense is the weakest. That's for a fact. We need 2 solid center backs, and we do. I mean, if people think that Bremer is gonna, come out here and save the day, it's just not. I mean, the man's world class, but I mean, Lloyd Kelly is an absolute. That's no go. Gatti, like I know how you feel about Gatti, and I'll be honest with you, 100% different on that. But I think the same with Gatti. I would put him as the same as Kalulu. I guess they're both perfect for coming off the bench, but maybe covering for a game. But I still think we need someone with a little bit higher caliber, and that's why I said we need 2 center backs. Our defense is probably the weakest, and the thing that we should be linked with players right now is defense. And I don't hear Jack. Okay, Sancho's cool, right? Gyökeres is cool, right? David, I get it. I know we want a striker, but you're telling me that we can't get linked to a proper center back? And then I forgot his name, Leone from Parma. Oh, let's go get him and then loan him back out to Parma. Okay, that's great. We're looking into the future, but we need something now. And if we,
Yeah.
it's frustrating because we all know that we need center backs. The defense is in shambles. It really is, and nothing is coming out. I mean, yeah, they had. Honestly, the name that you brought up, I've never heard of him, but I mean, so I can't say yay or nay, but I would think that we'd be linked with more center backs, and it's upsetting that we're not. We're. I feel like we're gonna fumble this Mercado. We're gonna do it the same way we did last year with Nico and Coop. Last minute, bring in players, do the loan deals like we did with Kalulu, and then here you go, Tudor. This is what you got. All right, now make it work. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be another damn shame. We're gonna be a lot of ups and downs this season. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm on that same trajectory right now. Osama, what do you think? Like, do you have a profile in mind, in names, but what is this backline just missing?
The way I see it for Tudor style, because he pushes the players forward, like you need center backs who can like defend space, and for that, like like these guys got to be like fast, they got to be strong, and they have to be good in like 1v1 duels. Which I'm sorry, like Kalulu's not that good at 1v1 duels.
No, he's
Neither
poor at
is
it.
Gatti really. Like Gatti's aggressive, but honestly, he like 50% of the time he just like fouls the guy, right? Or he gets like turned really easily. So you need guys who can do that, and like again, as you said, Lukumi's not a top defender, but he is like quick, he's strong, and his tackling's decent. So I feel like again, he'd be an improvement. But like, if Lukumi for 25 and like you can go and spend like another like I don't know 50 on like a really good center back, I'd be like okay, fine, like like improvement going into the thing. But I just don't see it, man. And I feel like what's most worrying to me is like we've spent money in the past and that money's just gone down the drain like 80% of the time. And like like even if like a fantasy world, if like Elcon comes out tomorrow and says, "Hey, I'm putting like 250 million like capital injection through XOR, right? Like go and fix this team." I don't think like the guys at the top, like the management, be it Komoli, be it Juntuli, be it Pratici, like know how to spend that money properly. Like we're gonna bring in guys like who one guy likes, doesn't fit the like there's no like synergy like with the coach. There's no like, okay, this is what the coach needs, this is what we're trying to do here. And like we just end up wasting money. And that's like a big part of the reason why everybody regresses when they come to the team. And I feel like that's the most worrying part. And like when I see the names we're being linked with and I'm like no sporting director, like it feels like we're heading down like a Milan banter era, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the space with the comment you say we need a center back who can defend space, because I don't know if anyone remembers that the Koopmine, the third goal with the Haaland goal, I think it was, with Koopminer striking back. That was because I thought it was very simple. We were trying to play man to man, and Kostic got absolutely dragged towards midfield. Kelly stepped in. Koopmeiners needed to track back. I cannot believe he didn't know where the ball was, because he looked up and he still lost the ball. Very strange. But I agree. The way Tudor wants to defend, you need players, who can defend space really quickly, be quick, and be strong. Anthony, do you trust the club right now to fix that back line?
Oh, not at all. No, I don't trust the club at all to make the right move. The saddest thing, one of the saddest things about yesterday, there's a lot to choose from, is Kalulu's our best available center back by far, and it's not even close. And you would never know it if you watched the game yesterday. So we're in real trouble at the back. I mean, ideally, in a dream world, I'd want someone like Hincapie or somebody that has championship pedigree, is quick, is smart, can cover space exactly. But those kind of players are going to be hard to drag to this team right now. So, I mean, we can maybe make marginal improvements, but I think we're going to have to make improvements more in maybe depth at the center back position instead of the actual quality, which it's unfortunate, but that's the situation we're in right now. So I don't trust the club to make the. If you look at the links, like I can't believe we're getting linked with players like Sancho and David and Gyökeres. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, if those links are real, then how can you trust the club to do the right thing?
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree with that. And people know how I am. I try to be extremely positive and give everyone a shot. But when I see certain things repeating themselves, I if I if I go out there and I'm like, you know what, I believe it again when I've seen them letting me down, I'll be just lying to myself. It's not gonna help. It's like, for example, the Kelly signing. Before he joined, it was like, oh, you never seen him play for us. Give him a shot. I don't need to watch him be bad for us when I watch him be bad for other teams. Like, I don't need to see that. Why do we always need to give everyone a shot, even when we know it's not good enough? It's like the club comes out tomorrow and they're like, um, I like, we're signing a player that plays for Parma, and as a backup player because he's 38 and he's not good enough. And you're like, you know what? But you've never seen him wear our colors. There's a reason, Kelly and all these. I don't want to see these players wear our colors. And the Sancho thing is a fact as well. We're targeting those players, and it's like that meme, with the skeleton in the pool, and the baby up front playing on above water. That's how it is. That backline is dying, and we are looking at the attack. Khalid, what do you think? Do you trust the club to fix this?
Um, Firstly, I would love to address uh, player profiling issue. I think it has been a problem since 2017. I think they're about.
Probably, yeah.
We kind of move like Manchester United in our transfer moves. When you sign a coach, obviously has playing principles, or is a possession based manager, see aggressive and all those stuff. Then you go to the transfer market, then sign defenders that are meant for aggressive play, and your coach plays possession play. Like when the season started and you looked at the back line, I don't think anybody looked at Thiago Motta at the beginning of the season and was like, yeah, he's going to win the league, he's going to win the Champions League. Anybody that thought that probably should think about football again. It's always set up for absolute failure. And going to next season, honestly speaking, if we don't sign two centre backs, I'm not even talking about one. If we don't sign two centre backs going to next season, might as well just play Cremonese on the last day of the season
Yeah.
and hope we win for top four again. That's just exactly what's going to happen. There will be no difference between the season that just finished and the one we're entering into. And for player names and profile, I don't really believe in any of those again for now for this club because Douglas Lewis, Nico Gonzalez, and Cook Miners were no bad players before they joined us. There's nobody out of the three of them that were bad players before they joined us. So I don't think it's more so about the names. I think it's just about the profile and fixing them in the right system. Okay, now we play aggressive football. Is this midfielder going to work for us? Not just the name, because those three players were absolutely no bad players. And I think we should look back at our, let me say, should I say, spending culture. Looking back at Juve has never been a club that spends big and the player succeeds. Most of our club legends came for probably not up to 30 million. Look at Dybala. I don't think we spent up to 50 for Dybala. You can consider him a legend. I don't think we spent
Nope. I think we lost.
so yeah. So all I'm saying
Yeah.
is we should just
Yeah.
everybody understands what I'm trying to say now. Like our player profiling, our purchase, we should just look back and just get our shit together.
Yeah. I mean, it should be clear and quote unquote easy what should have been done, but it's not. Sam is saying feels like there's no plan. Kamoli plugging holes. You need to plug a lot of holes, and right now it feels like there's no real plan. Just because we changed management extremely late, what makes it even more difficult to deal with. Uh, Jeff, I'm gonna ask you the same question really quickly. I want to throw in an Alfredo Pedula a news report saying that Kostic will leave. Atalanta want him, Roma want him, Bologna are interested, and other clubs as well. So that's uh, expected news, which makes it worse that he played a game when others should have played when he's gone. But do you believe the club, or do you trust the club in fixing that backline this summer?
This summer, highly unlikely. It's going to take a tremendous amount of money or a tremendous amount of luck I don't. Otherwise, I don't see how. I don't know any available names that can help. To be honest, um, so I don't know. But I have something to say, Ali. I don't know if you can let me. Like, it's not gonna be long. I think the club has not pinned down the root cause of the problem, which is the way we play football. Like you got teams, mid-table teams in uh, in England can give top clubs the run for their money every week. Okay, they play to win. We play like uh, we're relics from the past. We play like teams from the 70s and the 80s. It's not logical to be in 2025 and still playing like this. Okay, this is not football. The only player that I see in his impact was very tangible. Yesterday was Kenan Yildiz. He's like slightly above the rest, maybe, but otherwise, I don't see us challenging for anything. Maybe in Italy we could like get a Serie A maybe in the next few years, but like Champions League, you can kiss that goodbye. It's not gonna happen with this mentality, with this style of play. We're not going anywhere, man.
Well, I mean, okay, I don't believe in Tudor because I don't think he's a good enough coach.
Yeah,
So that's that. So style of play, whatever, and also he's going up against much better coaches, which is making it worse. And he has a bad squad. Um, so he's gonna need a lot of help to succeed, and with help, I mean just quality players.
yeah,
So I agree with that, but I also agree with the point where it's like, what is like we change so much, coaches, management, directors. Yeah, we're
yeah,
throwing things at a wall, and hopefully something sticks.
yeah.
That's how it feels right now,
And
and
every
that's
step
not how you do
forward
it.
is like 10 steps backwards. Everything is like backfiring on our faces. Like for example, this summer I truly believe that we're gonna challenge for Serie A. And you like tell me on paper, Coop Mainers, Douglas Lewis. I watch a lot of Premier League. I know Douglas Lewis was like doing some amazing stuff with Aston Villa in the last 2 years. I thought like our problems, even Kefren Turam, a lot of people don't rate him, but I watch a lot of League A, and I always liked him. I thought we had a decent squad this year that could challenge, but we've all seen the shit show and how it all unfolded, and how it all backfired in our faces. Um, I don't know, man. I'm just like I'm perplexed. I just like have no clue what really will. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel right now. It's just the way it is for me.
I
But
I agree.
hopefully something happens, a spark. Like in 2011, nobody on this planet predicted that Juve gonna win Serie A, and we did. So things like that can always happen. However, I don't think like we can challenge the big European giants. Like we're on a whole different level. Like top Spanish teams and top English teams are gonna destroy us 10 times out of 10. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, most likely. And the Khalid who just joined, you haven't plugged in your mic, so I cannot bring you in. Oh, now you've plugged your mic in, so I'll bring you in straight away. Yeah, you're in, and people can hear you.
Well, thank you.
Same question. Do you trust the club to fix that backline this summer?
I don't, and here's the reason. I have a question for you though. Based on the interviews and everything, what do you think are the objectives for this club?
What they will tell us. Well, they told us. Scanavino told us we need to be competitive for the title. So they told us, and I think I talked about it a week ago in a video, and I was like, I'm happy you did that because that should be the objective of this club. And now I have it on tape, basically, because it's out there. Not on tape, but it was in a newspaper, but it's out there. So to answer your question, that's their objective: compete for the title. And last game of the season, Tudor came out. He said, "I need 2-3 players, some injuries coming back, and we can compete." They've all been saying the same thing. So it's out there. Now you need to back it. If it doesn't happen, we're back at square one next summer, and like, you guys again failed. So that's
Because
their objective. Is that
the
realistic? If
the
you see what we've
links,
seen, no, it's not realistic. But
yeah, the links of the center backs that we're being linked with, they don't make sense. If that's the objective, if you're aiming for the Scudetto, like the links of the center backs linked to it, that doesn't make sense. That screams you're trying to get top four, get into the Champions League, get that minimum 50 million of the Champions League, and that's it. We're not being linked with a 60 plus million center back, because you need to have that in your team, because we don't know what Bremer is going to be like when he comes back. Is he going to be fit? Is he going to drop? So, and the back line needs to be fixed. It's priority number one. They need to just throw everything at it, whatever they have. The war chest has to be just depleted if you want to fix this team, because the back line is just horrible. Can't play with that.
yeah, I mean, that's extremely obvious. I'm gonna ask everyone the same question again. It's the last question before I'll wrap up. Very good show. If you haven't liked the video, like the video as well. I will do another call-in show. Probably. Wait, we play Wednesday or Monday. But my last question is: we play Real Madrid on Tuesday. Because we finished second, so we play Real Madrid on Tuesday. Osama, I'll start with you first. What do you think is going to happen? What are your expectations, assuming everyone is going to start? You know, Yildiz is going to be back, Cambiaso, Thuram. What is your expectation, and what is your / hope for that game on Tuesday?
I'd say for hope, like as a fan, I'm always hoping to win, right? Like that's not, I don't think like if we could play the Primavera against like prime Barcelona, I'd have like a 1% hope of winning. But my expectation is I'm honestly expecting to get like blown out again. Like I'm sorry, like Vinicius, I don't think Mbappe is gonna be back, but they got Vinicius, they got Jude Bellingham, Goulet's like balling out, like Valverde, Trent with his like passing, like against our defense, like our defense doesn't stand a chance. I'm sorry, like I'm just hoping it's not going to be like a bloodbath. Like I'm hoping it'll be like a respectable like 2-1 at worst, like 3-1 loss. Because I mean, I'm hoping Yildiz up against Trent can like get us a goal at least. But yeah, like I mean, I watched the Real Madrid game against Salzburg, man, and I mean, Xabi Alonso's getting the team to click. Like their whole thing was like, like they don't press as a team and all that. But yesterday, like even Vinicius was pressing. Like he's getting them to buy into his philosophy. And I mean, the talent's not questionable at Real Madrid. Like so yeah, I'm just hoping we don't get like blown out again, and we keep it respectable.
Yeah, I like that's actually the extremes of the lows we got, because I agree. Like I hope we just make it we keep it respectable. That's sad, but that's the reality at this moment in time. But yeah, thanks for calling in. Really appreciate it. Nice to have a chat with you. Anthony, same question. Real Madrid Tuesday. What do you think?
I think Vinicius' mouth is going to be watering after seeing what Doku did to Costa in that game. But I don't think we'll get blown out, just because I think the stakes are different for this game than they were yesterday. I think I'm hoping the players have too much pride to get blown out twice in a row. I mean, how can you expect anything besides a loss at this point? So I'm expecting a loss. I predicted 4-0 Man City. I'll go 3-0 Real Madrid.
Damn. That's pain. That's straight up pain. Ugh. if we lose again, like big numbers, like 3-0, yeah, I'm happy this club is not playing football for a good 2 months, because I need it. I really need it, and maybe a bit longer if that's possible. But yeah, Danny, what do you think? Tuesday.
I just hope Tudor doesn't come out with that whole resting players thing, and he takes it serious. You know, I think I'm gonna be optimistic here. I think it's, with the starting 11 that we have against theirs, they are the favorites. But man, I'm more with the 2-1, or you know what, maybe grind out a 2-2 and take it to penalties or something like that. I think it's gonna be rough. I just say Vinicius. I think Yildiz can turn out Trent. Trent's not a good defender, so he's gonna have a field day with him. Um, you know, Kolomwani, with the pace that he's got, hopefully they can, you know, break the back line. Um, but man, it's tough, and like it's really gonna show these two games. Okay, maybe you want to wash City, fine, that's whatever, because he had a poor team. But this one, he has no excuse, and then we're really gonna see Tudor's you know, caliber and how to manage uh in big game teams, you know. And if he does poor on this
Yeah.
one, like the other caller says, if you get smoked 3, 4, 5, you know, goals with the better lineup, then it's gonna really show that maybe we did we made a mistake of keeping Tudor, because I know this is a Club World Cup, but you know, you, like everyone says, you got to play what's in front of you, and what's in front of you now is Real Madrid. So better, you know, I know we got big club, but don't show them too much respect, you know, like we did with City. So if we get blown out, yeah, it just shows us what type of coach he's going to be for us for this whole season. I'm optimistic. I'm hoping we can put up a good show. Like the other caller said, our players should have pride and be like, you know what, we're not going to get smoked again, because damn, that sucks. And I would not want to get smoked again, you know? So, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm going to be optimistic. I think they pull it off, but I'm probably going to be, you know, people will probably be laughing at me. But yeah, I stick behind my club, and hopefully, you know, they can do a miracle. Miracles do happen once in a while, so who knows?
Yeah, we definitely need a miracle, that's for sure. Clay, what do you think? Tuesday, Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Do you
Tuesday.
think we?
Obviously, Tudor is gonna field the best starting 11, and we know what it is. I'm expecting a little bit of a different mentality, because last game they played for nothing. Basically, they were already in. I just want to see a different approach, because yesterday they didn't hold on to the ball. It was no possession. Literally, it was just like pass, 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 try counter attack, nothing. It actually made me miss Mota. It's kind of crazy. Even though we did nothing with Mota's like possession, it was like pass, 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 nothing, no direct passes. But yeah, I expect a different run for. We're gonna lose, obviously. It's gonna be 2-0 for Madrid. But this is actually a first test ish for Xabi Alonso, because they played like Al Hilal and this, I don't know, Mexican team in Salzburg. But this could be we might see a surprise, but my expectations are definitely low, and the only reason is that backline. And if you look at what the quality of the Madrid players, the backline is just gonna break. There's no like, you can't even. It's just obvious that's gonna break. There's no. You can't even think about, oh, there's gonna be a miracle, this, that. No. Quality is gonna break that backline of ours again, easily. So yeah, 2-0.
I mean, I agree. You know, it's very likely that we will concede quite a few with that backline. Jeff, what do you think? Tuesday, confident, hope, believe.
Of course, I'm confident. Historically, we always do well against Madrid. Historically.
Yeah, but we also
however,
only lost once against City before yesterday. So
Yeah, I know. There's always like a first for everything. However, I say like I hope the guys can show a fight, and we can see some, you know, I hope Tudor can hype them up to, you know, show up basically and fight for a win. Because what are you gonna lose? You know. Um, but I don't trust these players, man. I really don't trust them. They don't have the the character, you know, that we used to have in Juventus, where we could win, but not with our quality, but with, you know, with the sheer will of our, you know, how, remember that game against Real Madrid, 3-0, Trezeguet and Del Piero and Nedved.
yeah,
That
I have
wasn't
that
one
on
with,
cassette.
yeah, me too, VHS.
Yeah,
It wasn't one. They were better technically. We were better. Like, we ate them up. We ate the grass that day. We tore them apart, not because we were better, you know, quality wise, but because we believed in it. I know
yep.
this like tournament, nobody gives a shit about it. Like, nobody takes it seriously, at least not as much as, you know, other competitions. But what do we got to lose? What do we got to lose? And second thing I want to say, like, Madrid are not that good. Yes, they're way better than us, but bro, have you seen them against Al Hilal? Have you
Yeah, I
seen?
watched. That's the only Real Madrid game I watched on the tournament.
Yeah,
Oh no, I watched the first half against the Mexican team as well.
yeah, against Al Hilal, man, they were lucky. It was 1-1, in my opinion. In my opinion. But yeah, they played a couple of like guys from the B team and stuff. Um, I mean, 1v1, you know, they're way better than us. Like, I don't know, even Arda Güler, like the youngest player, is like infinitely more talented than any player we have. You know, like I told you, like the only way we're gonna win is gonna be with showing character, showing, you know, grinta, showing that kind of stuff. Even though these like players, I don't trust them, and I don't see anyone that can hype them up on the pitch. We don't have those kind of players anymore. But Tudor can. Tudor has that quality, I think. Um, I hope we win, and I'm confident, and I'm gonna always watch Juventus and hope that they win, and I'm gonna support to the last minute. But well, realistically, it's far fetched, but I mean, it's doable. I think it's doable. Um, if Al Hilal can hold Real Madrid to a draw, why not us? Or why not win?
Yeah, I mean,
That's all I have to say.
it's just a hope. Otherwise, nothing is left for us right now. The last one who hasn't spoken, if you're still here, because you kind of disappeared from me. Can you say something? Well,
Hello?
oh yeah, you're back for me. Same question. Tuesday, Real Madrid. What do you think?
Firstly, the approach cannot be to sit at the back again. Definitely cannot be to sit at the back, because if we do that against Real Madrid, we'll have big problems, especially from Vinny Junior. And Vinny coming against Kelly is not a very good sight to behold. It's not going to be funny, except we want to end up on TikToks in the morning and have quite a day. That's the first. Then, secondly, what I will point out is Madrid is still building something, in my opinion. They are not perfect at what they do. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, there are games they win it because it's Salzburg, Pachuca, with all due respect to the other teams. So I feel if we can disrupt the kind of flow they have, just a bit of the flow they have, we can get something from the game. But one thing I know we must not do, we must not sit back. Because if we do sit back, oh boy,
Yeah.
Vin is going to have compilations for generations. Like you know what those Neymar's YouTube we watch in 2015. Yeah, he will recreate some kind of stuff like that. And the reason why I'm eager to see the match against Madrid is I want to really see the kind of manager Tudor is after such kind of defeats. Like you Master beats you 5-2 the game before. So what can you do? So it's kind of like a test to see, okay, this is that. And it's crazy how nobody's talking about Houston.
I,
I
I,
think
I refuse to acknowledge it.
everybody kind of forgot, but I think he's come
I
to
think
say
we want
something.
to forget.
He's good. I think he's going to make a statement, and hopefully he does not. Vlahovic does not start, and Vlahovic gets to press him, and he just kind of moves away. And oh boy,
Yeah,
like
it's coming full
if it
circle.
gets if it gets like way out of hand on Thursday and on where we play, there's not going to be in between. It's going to be an absolute. If we play bad, it's going to be absolutely bad. It's going to. I think if we give them these chances to do what they want to do, they have the firepower to score more than six. They have. So we have just got to manage everything we got and at least try not to sit back because the act of sitting at the back for me, I don't get it because you're playing attack versus defense when you sit at the back, and we don't even have a good defense, so sitting at the back makes no sense. So my prediction: Madrid wins, but like you all have said, let's make it a respectable fight at least.
Yeah, I mean, not looking forward to it. That's for sure. But obviously, gonna watch the game and hope for the best. That's the only thing we
Yeah,
can do right now.
yeah, yeah.
Just
And
hope.
hopefully, and hope Vlahovic does not press Houston. I know, I know, I'm
He's not
adamant on
gonna
that.
play. Vlahovic's not
Yeah,
gonna start.
hopefully,
There's no way.
hopefully,
There's no way.
hopefully, hopefully. And then
Uh,
their wing backs. I don't know. Someone pointed out their wing backs. If we can get them like Conceição and you this 1v1 against Trent and Fran Garcia, we could have something from the game. So
I agree with that, but it's not even certain that Conceição will be ready for that game as well. So
yeah,
maybe Colt Miners can turn it on again after a year or so. But other than that, I agree. It's hope. I agree with everyone. All the callers appreciate for calling in. It was fun. That was a lot. So that's good. That to show that people call in. I'm gonna wrap it up because I need a break from talking to about this club for now. Tomorrow daily, probably a live on Sunday again, to see what anything comes out of this club, positively for once. If you haven't liked the video, like the video because I can see a lot of people voted yes, but that's a lie, you didn't like. So like, subscribe, appreciate it, and then I will be back, like I said, live on Sunday, and we will see you back then. Ciao.